The collapse of the credit markets have left millions of people frozen in their tracks, unable to pay their loans and credit card bills on one hand and not able to obtain any new credit on the other. How did we become so ensnared in this debacle? And how can we find our way out when everything seems to be collapsing around us? James Martinez has an online radio show titled Cash Flow, and he guides his listeners through the process of getting out from under debt. But he says this process is not for the faint-hearted.
And then what I tell them is, what you're going to have to do now is you're going to have to face your old belief system every day as you go through this process and the phone starts ringing, you start getting letters in the mail of your old self believing things that aren't true. Now, are you going to believe me, or are you going to believe the letters that come through every month? And all these triggers going off for old behaviors,
Lawsuits?
which are lawsuits, they have to expect the possibility of that coming to them. But if they understand what's really going on and they understand the concept, they're not afraid of the court. In most cases, my clients never deal with the court in the first place. It's not something they have to deal with hands-on, ever. That was a big problem in the beginning, is because a lot of people wouldn't deal with these alleged debts and deal with them administratively because they're too afraid of the courts.
Right.
And I proved to them, and I've proven on the radio, that the procedure for collecting on alleged debts is a procedure. It follows a certain sequence, and certain banks do certain things depending upon how much you have, what state you live in, and if they're going to arbitrate on you, if they're going to sue on you, the collection process, the whole thing follows.
Who are the most aggressive banks?
Most aggressive banks are Citibank, without a doubt. Absolutely reptile, devil, evil. There's nothing good there at all. I get people calling in from all over the place that hate those guys. I will never deal with them. Second after that is Discover. Third after that used to be MBNA. Fourth after that American Express. And then after that it falls with Fleet, Wells Fargo, Capital One, all those
Where's
cards.
Chase?
Chase is kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
None of them follow the laws at all. It's not just me saying that, it's all over the web. People have made it in documentaries, it's very common knowledge. They don't follow procedure, they are not customer friendly at all. There's plenty of documentation to indicate that. And they have people get on the phone, not in writing, they always go with the phone first. And they elicit responses out of the people on the opposing end of the phone to determine how much they've got, how scared they are, what they're going to do if they're working, and if they're a good person to sue. Now, that's done on purpose to determine whether or not me being the person that's carrying this alleged debt now, who's bought it for pennies on the dollar, who's coming after you for the entire amount, plus interest, plus penalties, blah, 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 blah,
Right.
forever,
Right.
All that crap, you've got to determine what's going to happen next with them. And I tell them everything about full disclosure on the whole issue.
This is a very hands-on look at the personal effects of the economic crisis and how to stop the insanity. For the full interview, go to ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.